Welcome to the Other Side Pod. I'm Nadine. We're not experts, we're just humans having a human experience we think you can learn from, or relate to, or laugh at, or cry over. So hit download, dive in, and hear how folks found themselves on the other side. We're recording. Okay, first question. Mom, when did you realize I was your favorite daughter?
The moment you were born, sweetheart, there was no doubt.
Uh, okay, this is the Other Side Pod with my mom and my sister.
You
Danielle.
know I'm just joking, sweetheart.
Oh, I know it's a lie.
Danielle, who are you? Introduce yourself.
Oh my goodness. I am the eldest daughter of Lorraine and Edward Hogan. I
Sweetheart,
am.
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you. It's elder daughter.
Oh my God, this is
Oh
gonna be
my
a
God, here we
long.
go. Like not even a minute in. Oh,
Yeah.
this is just like
And this
today's.
isn't for show. This is just who she is.
This is like unapologetic Lorraine Hogan. I am the daughter of unapologetic Lorraine Hogan. I'm Danielle Hogan. Do you want me to go
What
further?
do you
Like
do?
what I do? I'm an occupational therapist and I work in community mental health and addictions in St. John's, Newfoundland, where we are from, but my sister and brother left us. So I'm in St. John's, so I've been working as an OT for 24 plus years, so a long time career. So I'm on the other side of my career, which is a really nice place to be.
Countdown to retirement.
Count- Countdown.
Mom, do you want to introduce yourself?
And don't wish your time away, sweetheart.
I don't wish my time away. I just want my retirement.
Those last 5 years will fly.
Mm.
Will they?
They really will. Yes, sweetheart. I could trust your mother. Trust your mother. Who am I? Mother of two beautiful girls and an awesome son. Did you see the videos I posted today?
No.
Gosh.
Oh,
Where?
they're fun. They're fun on my Facebook. It's just to tease you girls about my golden boy. Anyway, I
Oh,
am I am a proud mom and a proud grandmother of two beautiful grandsons. Recently widowed within the last 5 years. Try not to let that define me, but it's a fact of my life, and I've moved on from that somewhat and then enjoying my retirement for the last 18, 19 years and try to fill my days, my evenings as much as I can with family and good friends, eating out, dancing, guitar, um, hobbies like knitting. I love walking, hiking. I think I'm a well rounded individual.
is this for a dating app?
Right?
Photo,
That
in- photo included.
With cleavage.
Well,
my
With
oops.
with cleavage.
of course, my God, you have to have cleavage, darling.
I would just
Uh,
like to like state that, oh my God, my identity is actually my occupation, which is so interesting to me, listening to mom describe herself.
Well,
Um,
that's
mm.
because you were still
yeah,
working. Had I described not to
yeah,
interrupt you, sweetheart, which
no,
I'm
no.
apt to do, but had I described myself 30 years ago, in your position, I would have said the same thing. Who I am would be defined by my profession.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
just interesting.
should it be? You know?
Should it be what?
Should we be defined by profession?
I think it definitely is a huge part of who I am and how I portray myself and how I interact with folks, and it definitely has shaped the person I am. But there is other aspects of myself, and maybe that's the one I'm most comfortable describing. Interesting.
Yeah, because if like let's just say we're out somewhere at a concert and we run into somebody or we're introduced to somebody we don't know, I suppose. What do you say?
Well, it's so interesting that like the first thing we go to is career, profession, and I don't know. what that
Mm-hmm.
says about us as a society. But yeah, that's what I would go to.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's
And
like so much of your life. Like you spend more time with your work folks than you do with sometimes family and friends.
it's
So
kind of sad in a way because when you start off with that, it's like your work and your place in society is defined by almost your financial
I know.
contribution to your family, to your community at large. And it's almost like if you're interesting in your work life, people will tend to
Mm.
carry on a conversation with you. But if you're doing something that's very mundane or not making a lot of money, people can draw back sometimes, you know. So it's almost like we're denying ourselves who we are by just saying what we do for a living because that's what it's for, right? And we are
So,
much more complex humans than what we do for a living.
so mom, now you go out with your girlfriends and you're introduced to somebody and you say what? Because you're retired. What do you say?
People would, again, people will always say, "And what did you do for a living?"
Funny, right? Right.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's like people are trying to find that connection. Oh, maybe I know somebody that you know or that you might have worked with. And of course, I worked in healthcare and there's such a broad spectrum of careers and personnel that it does lead to a lot of connections sometimes. But again, it's that defining thing. I worked in healthcare and this is what I did.
And maybe it gives people something to try to get to know you, to try to relate more about trying to find a connection to relate to you, to have a conversation, or to try to fit you into some kind of block. You try to like type somebody to make it a little easier to
We
chat with them. Maybe that's a
we do.
unconscious thing,
Yeah, and we need
subconscious.
yeah, you need a starting point.
It's
It's
like
just
I guess we should say our age. I'm 47.
I'm 29.
54 because she cut me off again.
I know, Mom, I'm gonna, you got to be careful because if you're talking at the same time, then no one can hear anything. Danielle,
So it's
how old are
okay.
you?
54.
Lorraine,
76.
what's it like being on the other side of 70?
Terrifying.
Is it?
Uh, it's different. Uh, I don't know how to explain it, sweetheart. Like every decade gives you a different perspective on life. But 70 is whew, scary. That's close to 80. Woo. But then again, I have friends who are 80 and they're no different than when they were in their 70s because you just acclimate, I guess, to your age. And people always say you don't feel your age, but when you look in the mirror, you know you are your age. There's no denying it. And we know that there is a timeline. They say you can see more behind you than you can see in front of you. It's kind of intimidating. It's kind of
Mm.
intimidating. It puts your life in a whole new perspective. But do I worry about it? No sense worrying about it. It is what it is, right? The weeks creep by and the months and then the years. And we know it's a blessing to be able to count off those years, but it's also a daunting thing. And aging is not for the faint of heart.
Do you feel like people treat you different in your 70s?
Uh, I think they would if you had restrictive mobility or restrictive cognitive ability. Sometimes you can be treated like almost like a child. I don't find it because, knock on wood, I'm still pretty good with all of my faculty. At least I think I am.
Classic Nadine. I put a cake in the oven, so talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Hilarious.
This is fucking intense.
Oh my God. Still recording, Ma? Love hair cursing.
Did you chat?
No, we switched our computers. We cleaned our eyes. And then we went, you're going to edit this out.
No, I could have kept it in.
Cool.
Um, I made a delicious, like toasted oat, kind of like breakfasty cake with lots of plums and peaches.
Sounds
Deliciousness.
delightful.
Very
I
excited.
had I had tea and toast.
Well, I knew that I'd be pressed for time making it, and then you know me, and I'm terrible for time. So I looked at the clock
Really?
and I was like, "Oh, I have lots of time." And then I start to make it, and then realize I'm going to have to go down in the middle of this podcast.
Why do you think you're like that, sweetheart?
I don't
Would you
know
like to
you.
would you like to talk about that?
I'm
I
I,
feel like I mean, I'm not great for time anyway. I always feel like I have a lot of time, even though underneath it all, I'm always nervous that I don't have enough time for all the things I want to do. Save that for my therapist. But I think with you, with my immediate family, I revert back to like I have all the time. Whereas I knew in my head, I'm like, if I was podcasting with anyone else but Mom and Sis right now, I would make sure like I would have timed it out differently. But with the two of you, I was like, oh no, I can do it and I'll be there. Like half my hair is soaking wet because I was like, well, I don't have time to dry this now. I just had time to fix my bangs.
Hilarious.
Okay, the one of the maddest, Danielle, while I'm telling the story, you have to search your head for one of the times that mom was most mad at you in recent years, like give it the last 5 years. Okay, mom, I was home last summer and you were getting your cataracts removed, right? Cataracts?
Yes.
Cataract surgery. And Danielle, the elder daughter, the eldest daughter, who's very timely, brought you for your first eye appointment and things were seamless. And then I said, oh, I'll bring you for your second. And you wanted to be picked up, let's say it was 9 a.m. And again, thinking I had all the time in the world, but I was stressed because I was like, she can't be late. Like, don't be late for her. She'll be so angry. Or, I don't want you to miss your appointment, obviously. And don't I burn in there at what, 9:03? And you were at the end of the driveway and you were so mad. You were pacing. And I was like, oh God, I felt like I was 14 again. And I was like, I'm in such trouble. And you got in the car and you were like, I'm not surprised. Like, that's the problem, that I'm not even surprised. I want you to think about that. And then I think we just drove in silence.
I do remember it. I didn't remember what I said, but I do remember the incident.
I was gonna say, which is so funny because mom is never on time.
I know I'm terrible.
Like you're both terrible.
Terrible. And I get it from you. I'm not surprised. And that in itself is the problem. I want you to think about that. And we didn't speak until she got to the appointment and realized she had plenty of time.
It's a terrible trait, I have to say. And I have improved in later years, probably since I've retired, but I don't know. I was always late, just sweetheart. I was late getting up, late getting you ready, late getting out the door. Daddy used to get so mad because he was so punctual, always punctual. I think that's who Danielle takes after.
I took after my father.
You
Yeah,
do, you
Dad.
do, sweetheart. And Stephen takes after
And
his dad, for thanks be to
I
God,
was
but
gonna, I was
Deanie
gonna
takes
say
after Mama.
after.
Whoops. And David is very punctual, so he hates it. So he
Yeah.
blames you, Lorraine, and that is the problem.
Always the mother's fault.
What is it? It's always one thing or the mother.
There.
Danielle, when is one of the times mom was most mad at you?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, honestly, have you been mad at me?
Oh, I'm sure I have.
I'm sure you have, but I can't recall mom being mad at me. I really can't. Can you, mom?
No, nothing comes to mind.
No, not really. It's a long weekend. I got to think about this all weekend. But I can't remember. There was. I mean, maybe I just get the silent treatment, which is like
Yes,
the
you
worst
do.
thing
Yeah.
ever. I'd rather someone smack me in the face than just talk. But I can't
Yeah,
remember.
silent treatment is not fun. That's
We
where
all
mom goes when you're
we all
mad.
we all have coping strategies.
That's where
There's no.
mom goes when she's mad.
I
She
do.
goes silent treatment.
I retreat. I withdraw.
But yeah, honestly, like I'm being in all seriousness though, like I can't remember, mom. Again, I'm amazing. And I can remember being mad at both of you. And for Dee Dee,
Mm,
Tell us one time your sister got mad with you.
yeah.
you can share in some things you can't.
This
I
is
mean,
true, honey. This is true.
thinking back to any of the times that we've been mad, I've been mad at you has been around time. You're late picking me up, or late getting me, or making me late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my best quality.
But
I
yeah,
remember one time I had lunch with dad and I was asking him something and I said something about asking him when the last time mom was mad at him or when he was mad at mom. Yeah, because mom's mad at him. But I was like, well, when have you been mad at mom? And he was like, well, no, I never get mad at your mother. And I'm like, Dad, you had to have been mad at her. He goes, do you see how she reacts when you're mad at her? No, I just, you know what? It's not worth it, Nadine. It's not worth it. And I never understood it. I remember thinking he wasn't telling the truth. And then not 3 years later, mom and I are in Spain walking parts of the Camino. And she's so mad and I'm walking behind her and her shoulders are just like shaking because she's like walking with this anger that comes from generational trauma. And
Sure, sure.
she was mad because she said, how far back to the hotel? And I said, Mom, this is my first time in Spain as well. Like, I'm on the same route you are. I don't know where anything is. And she said, your father would never, and whipped her shoulders. And I could see the big sun hat she was wearing. And she was giving her in front of me and didn't speak to me until both of us reached that hotel a while later. And then we still didn't speak. We went to our room. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get where he was coming from. And then we both went to the pool. Remember, there was a nice little wading pool in our hotel. It was so beautiful. And we were
Oh,
floating
right.
there and not really speaking to each other. And finally, I said, hey, Mom, here's how I feel when something like that happens. And you said, okay, here's how I feel when something like that happens. And then I said, I can see how I attitude in this way. And you said, and I can see how I attitude in this way. And then I, you know, yes, in the moment, when you get mad, it's hard to communicate, but I am as well because I take after you. But what I really like about you, Mom, is that I can say, "Hey, here's what I need," or "Here's what I needed," and you don't get defensive. You say, "Oh, okay." Like I don't know, maybe when you were younger you did, but now you're like, you don't get defensive. You just say, "Okay, I hear you. It's not how I thought about it, and sorry, that I don't know wasn't what you needed or whatever, however you say it, but it's nice. You can actually communicate, which is why I think I don't mind having those uncomfortable conversations with you or telling you how I feel, you know?
Unapologetic
Well,
Lorraine.
sorry, sweetheart. What'd you say?
I said unapologetic Lorraine, which you guys
No,
are so
she's not. I feel like she gets apologetic when I have that conversation with her. It's not unapologetic at all. It's like you want to understand where I'm coming from. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart.
What were you going to say? You find her unapologetic?
well, you both are so similar that like I just overcompensate. So if when mom is like that, like so for instance, like last night, like, like we don't have to share the conversation, but there was a conversation, like a private conversation between the three, well, between two of you.
Wait, I'll explain. I'll explain. I was hurt by something that an old friend did, and I called
Right.
mom and told her, and she said, "So?" And I was caught off guard, and I said, "Well, I mean, I have feelings." And she's like, "Why? Like that's in the past." And and I said, "Yeah, mom, but I can still have feelings about it." And you were like, "Well, I mean, I guess, sweetheart, I guess if you need to have feelings about it, but I just don't understand why you would need to have any feelings about it. Put your big girl pants on," is what you said. And then I
Yes.
said, "You're not good at this. This is not why I come to you. You're not very sensitive to my feelings." And you said, "Oh, yeah, I think you did say sorry. You said, 'Oh, sorry, sweetheart. I didn't know that something like that situation would have an effect on you.' But you did." And I didn't hop off the phone angry. I hopped off the phone knowing, like, Nadine, you know that, you know, mom's just not the person to call in that moment. And I know that. I knew better. But I
I know.
thought I'd do it anyway.
And I was stood there like this, shooketh. I was shooketh because I just come into the house and I was like, Mom, like heads up. Because to add to the story, I knew the story from
Well, because
like
I
maybe
tell you right away, because you know exactly what I need, and it's just your
exactly.
nature to react the way I know you're going to react in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like you're the mafia. You're like, what do you need? I got it. I could say the worst thing in the world, and you're like, you would back me up. So I know when I need, like, I go to you first. I'm like,
Yeah.
Danielle. So that was like hours ahead of time. I had
Yes.
cooled down by the time I called mom.
Hadn't. Like I wasn't cool down. This is my issue. Is like I was not cool down. I looked at mom. I was like, Mom, just a heads up. There's something going on. She just needs a little bit of like, just like listen to her. And she answers. And then I'm like, I was shook it. She was like cooking at the stove and so just nonchalant about this like big feelings. And she's like, put your big girl pants on. I thought you were over it, sweetheart. Get over it. What did you expect? And I was like, oh, where is the warmth of that? Like, mom, come on. And then I was like, when she hung up, I was like, she's like, okay, sweetheart, here's your supper. And like put the plate on the table. And she's like, did you want some water with that? And I'm like, looking at her going, how do I manage this? And then I was just like, Mom, that was pretty harsh. Like, I don't understand what just happened. Like, that was pretty harsh. And then at one point I was like, are you okay? Like, is something on your mind? Like, what was that? And she's like, oh, I'll just message my little bluebird now and see if she's okay. And that's what she did. And you were fine. And I'm still reeling.
That's so funny. Mom was fine. I was off playing pickleball, and you were sitting there
Yes.
sweating in the aftermath of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because you don't like confrontation and you like things to be cleared up right away. So I
Yeah,
was off playing pickleball last night. Mom was having a great night, probably watching Vera,
News.
and you were, what goes through your head? Like, we're not going to be close anymore?
No, nothing like that. Just like, I guess like the human reactions fascinate me. And like, I'm trying to figure out like where both of you are coming from and how you both interpret what the other is saying. Cause like, I guess I'm hearing both of it. So like, maybe it comes from my work, like trying to just
sure.
listening to so many stories. And I only get one side of story sometimes, but like in your family, obviously you get the two sides, especially when you're standing there like listening to it. So it's like trying to provide each of you with like what you both need, but that takes a lot
Without
of energy.
without taking a side and without hurting either one of us, because then you're on the outs.
Yeah, like last night I took Nadine's side. Like I was just like, how could you have done that? It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing.
It was over the
I
minute
know
it happened.
It's
one
only
thousand.
it's just an opinion. It's just how you strike somebody in that moment. You might never react the same way again. You've given the
Mhm.
same set of circumstances. It's just that where your head is in that moment. That's it.
Oh
And
yeah.
But also, I feel like moms, you're not great with big feelings, unless it's like you're great with joy or major moments of grief. But in the in between, big feelings, you're like, why?
yeah,
Like you want to like snuff them.
yeah,
You're just like,
yeah,
okay, but get over it now. And Dad was the same way. I
yeah,
Oh,
remember getting divorced, and Dad said, "Why are you so sad? Didn't you leave?"
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, Dad, that
Yeah.
was a gut-wrenching decision. I upended two lives and this is terrible. And he was like, but get over it. Like you did it.
That's
Move.
what.
And I
That's
mean,
what.
in his
Yeah.
defense, it was a few months later, but it was only a few months later. I mean, I was devastated. So
So maybe
both
we
of
just,
you,
yeah, we just get to where we know you're going to get. We just get there quicker. And I guess
well, because it's
that's
not happening to you.
yes, and that's life experience, and we're coming at it from a different perspective altogether, right? So it's being in the moment with the person that's sharing it with you and being able to accept that. And it's not something we grew up with, honey. It's like, got a problem, solve it or get out of it. And there's no sense dwelling on it. It's over, it's over. If it's gone, it's gone. That's it.
Right. But I strongly
No,
disagree. But I get that you
I
grew
know.
up like that. And then I think of like your Aunt Loretta, my great aunt, who had a really brutal upbringing. And she was born in what,
17,
1904?
1917.
1917. And when she would tell me stories about her youth, which were outrageous to me, and how her mom reacted, like she was in an abusive marriage, and I said, why didn't you go home to your mom and dad's to get away from this man? And she said her parents would have said, you made your bed, lie in it. And so 19, that was probably what, 19,
Seven,
no,
30,
she was born in 1917, so maybe yeah,
1935.
1935.
Yeah.
So that was the tune of the day in St. John's, Newfoundland in 1935. You're with an abusive husband, you made your bed, you lie in it. That wouldn't have happened to you, would it have, Mom? Like my grandparents would have taken you back in, right?
No, that was my mom's attitude as well. Then she's Aunt Loretta's sister. There was only 7 years between them, but that's their generation telling my generation, you're out, you made your bed. There was no home to go back to once you moved out. I mean, there was we grew up, we had no space anyway. And by the time you were 15 or 16, you couldn't wait to get out on your own. And most times it was in a relationship with somebody.
Mm.
Not like you guys, you went away to college or you started working and you got a home. It's like we went from our parental home to our marriage home.
Mm.
So when you
Yeah,
did that,
but if
um,
dad was abusive, if you were in an unsafe situation, you don't think Nanny and Poppy would have taken you back in to sleep on the couch just to make sure you're
they,
safe?
they may have, I don't know, but I would have been able to look after myself.
Mm,
I only depended on me. It wasn't in my mentality to think I can go back to mom and dad because they had no
right,
resources to help me. They certainly weren't financially comfortable to take on an extra mouth to feed because that's what it involved. And I had younger siblings that were still at home. So I
right,
wasn't going to be bringing my problems back into their home. It would be the onus was on me, right?
right, right. So it's
Yeah.
not so much that they would have closed the door on in your face. You wouldn't even have thought to knock on their door. You would have been like, I'll get myself out of this situation because you made
I
sure you, yeah,
I really don't know, honey, because it never came up with me. I
yeah.
really can't say if they would have open arms and welcome me back in. I really, really don't know. I wouldn't offer a guess because I'd only be guessing,
Mm.
right? But it's not
No,
something that,
oops.
yeah, it's okay, honey.
I was gonna say, it's so interesting because that's one of the things you were such a strong woman because you never would have went back to Nanny and Poppy's. Like, I think you would have, like,
Oh,
got
no, I wouldn't.
moved in with friends or like your survival is just like uncanny. I just think you did everything for yourself and never wanted to go back into that world that you were brought up in and just knowing where
Oh,
you know, even the conversations like we have, like especially from a woman's perspective of like I remember you saying way back when is like no matter who you're with or you know what position you're in or how much you're making always have your own bank account like you
mhm,
always protect yourself like get your education get your degree no one can ever take the paper away from you. No matter what you do with it, like you still got an education behind you. And like you need to feed yourself, you need to house yourself, you need
mhm.
to clothes on your back. No one's going to do it for you. You got to do it for
No,
yourself. And if you find
exactly.
someone that can do it with you, like amazing, and you compliment one another and that you can
Mhm.
stand individually, like I just, that's such a lesson for us. I don't
Oh,
get
you're
that.
welcome. You're welcome. No, it's true,
It's
honey.
great.
It's true. It's because our generation was the first, you
Yeah.
know, that we could be independent, that we could get educated, could go to university, um, could have your own bank account. I mean, we couldn't, honest to God, we couldn't even get loans in our own name when I got married first. Everything was in your husband's name. He had to sign, even though I
Mm.
was working, they had to sign for you to get a loan. Like it wasn't a singular thing that you did. It was a just because you were married, the onus was on the husband to approve for you to have credit. I mean, you can't even imagine it, but that's the way it was. And we finally got birth control pills, so we had control over our bodies and how many kids we wanted to have or didn't want to have. And that was something revolutionary, even that aspect. We didn't have to be confined to the home. And I mean, we didn't have it all, but we had a really, really good portion of life that our parents and our mothers, certainly not our fathers, but our mothers never had. And that came with a price as well. So even though we thought we had it all, we didn't. We still struggled. Most of the work in the home fell to the woman. Most of the child rearing responsibility and arranging, like picking up from school if you're sick, or going to doctor's appointments, or taking time off to even to go to school to hear about your children's report. It was always the mother. It was just an unwritten rule, and we did it. We just didn't challenge it. We just didn't have sense enough to know, wow, we can delegate some of this to the father. He has just as much,
Mhm.
number one, right to be to these appointments, and also just as much responsibility to take time from work. But it was just that mentality that we had. Okay, we're working, god, we do have it all, and we can have kids, and we got childcare and all that. And but it came with a price as well because we had to take so much onto ourselves. It was almost like, gee, we got this right now for all of this stuff, but now we got to prove that we can do it. We can handle all of that. We don't need anybody's help. It's not that anybody said it to us, but it's like, okay, girls, here's what you wanted. Go now, fill your boots and make it work and show the next generation coming up that, wow, this is a great way to live, right? So it's only with the next generation that people started to ease up on themselves a little bit. The women, like, okay, we
I don't
don't
even
have,
know if they ease up. Like my friends with kids,
you
uh,
think? No,
it doesn't, yeah, no, it doesn't
no,
seem to ease up. But I will say that it's no longer, you can have it all. Now it's like, oh, that was a lie. We were fed. You can't have it
yeah,
all. If you want to
no.
work and have kids, you have to make sacrifices. And I mean, I don't have children, so I don't know, but just from listening to my friends that have full-time jobs and children and partners with full-time jobs and, equal parent,
Yeah,
they don't have it all. It's almost like if you're spending more time at work, you feel bad about the kids. If you're spending more time with the kids, you feel bad about work. And it's definitely still mostly on the woman. And I have, friends with great partners who do a lot of things, but it's still not the same emotional labor, still not the same figuring it all out, making sure everything's in its place, making sure, the camps are going ahead or booking them. I mean, yes,
yeah,
some men are outliers in this,
yeah,
but it's definitely not equal still.
yeah, yeah.
But they no longer believe they can have it all, which is, you know, probably when you're told you can have it all and you're exhausted and you're like, why can't I keep it all together? Everyone else, every other woman around me seems to.
Yeah.
Then it's like that guilt on yourself, like there's something missing in you. You're not doing it right, but that's not
Something
true, actually.
something
Yeah.
wrong with me. I'm not coping. And wow, look
Yeah.
what society has given me, has allowed me to do, like, wow. Even for men to take a child in a bassinet to go for a walk or stroller, that was unheard of in our time.
Mhm.
Like you see fathers now all the time with their babies and younger kids strapped to their chest or their back, and they're out and they're sharing that responsibility. But in my generation, a father wouldn't even push, we used to call them prams, wouldn't push a pram because it wasn't a manly thing to do. It was that identification thing with the sexes, right?
Right.
It's just it's unreal when you think about it, but that's
Yeah.
that's the perception of the times. And I think as women, oh gosh, we've learned a lot. There's no doubt about it. But we learned a lot through making our own mistakes and working through it. But we did have a lot of opportunity. There's no doubt about it. And grateful for it. And I think the biggest part was the birth control pill, as far as I'm concerned, that you weren't loaded down with 10 and 12 kids that you could, number one, couldn't cope with, and number two, couldn't support financially. And that was to me, the biggest invention or creation in the 20th century, as far as I'm concerned.
Can you tell me once that it wasn't even easy to get? Like when you knew the birth control was available,
No.
wasn't there some of your friends who had to go to a priest to
Yeah,
be granted
yeah.
permission to take it? Like that is insanity.
Well, the
Like,
obstetrician that I had when you guys were born, when he delivered the three of you, um, he was Roman Catholic. And because he was Roman Catholic and the pill was against Catholicism, the doctrines, he wouldn't even prescribe the pill.
to
So,
you,
not just to me, to any of his patients, because it was against his religious
oh,
belief.
why didn't you go to another doctor
I
to,
did. I did.
oh,
But
oh,
one of my friends got married. She got pregnant like right away, and then after that baby was born, I think she had another one within 12 months type thing, back to back kids. And she went to the priest because she's a good Catholic girl to look for advice and say that she wanted to be able to take the pill because two kids was a lot financially and emotionally and all that. Anyway, he denied her. So what she did, she waited and went to this other cubicle in the Catholic Church, to this other confessional, and went to another priest. And she went around until she got the answer that she needed. Because she was Catholic and she believed in the teachings of the church, she wanted permission to take the pill. And she
wow.
kept going to went to another priest until she got permission so she could feel good about taking birth control pills so she wouldn't have any more kids.
Shocking.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it?
And how did you find a doctor that would prescribe if your current doctor wouldn't prescribe? Was it like a known thing amongst your girlfriends? Like, go see doctor.
No, you wouldn't even talk about that, sweetheart, even among your girlfriends.
You
That was
wouldn't?
no, that was kind of like people didn't talk about shit
Mm.
like that. We might have talked about it at work in a general thing, but not personal stuff like to share that. Because everybody was going through their own stuff, so it's just not stuff that came up in conversation. You knew you were pregnant and you had a kid, and the next thing you know, you're pregnant again. You wouldn't say, "My God, are you going to take the pill?" It just didn't come up. It wasn't that free
Mm.
kind of flowing conversation, honey. I don't know why. Uh,
Mm.
but no, that was the obstetrician that wouldn't give it to me. So I just went to my family doctor, and that's who eventually gave it to me. Yeah.
Did you ever talk to your girlfriends about the amount of I don't know, work pressure, anything to do with, having kids, having a full-time job? Did you ever call each other to say,
Not,
or
not,
to validate each other, to share with each other?
no, I don't think so, sweetheart. I can't recall ever reaching out to somebody and saying, how are you coping? Or, geez, you never believe what happened today. It was just our lives were so busy and so full,
Mm.
full with work, full with child rearing and all that that brings 24/7, uh, that I don't think we gave much thought or much time to that. We knew, like my girlfriends, I knew my girlfriends were the same as what we were. You had one, two, three kids. You were working outside the home. We knew how much money people were making because most of the people were doing the same type of work what we were doing. So we kind of like, everybody's struggling, but you just don't talk
Mm.
about
But you never
it.
talked about it. Like, you never called
No,
frustrated with dad about something and said, like, I'm gonna
no,
kill my husband. No?
no, I
Okay.
can't ever recall that. If it was, it would be like in a group setting and it would be done in a joking way, not in a confidential, confident um, type of, like I need to share this with your type thing. My
Mm.
God, you'll never believe, or has this ever happened to you, or did you, what, that kind of way. No, no, just not that kind of conversations, honey. Very, very superficial, I would say, right? In regards to human relations and marital relations, it just wasn't something that we did, right?
I
Has it
don't think
changed
that
now with your girlfriends?
sorry.
Pardon me, sweetheart.
Has it changed now with your girlfriends? I feel like
Uh,
you have these
oh my God.
conversations.
Yes, we talk about all
Yeah.
kinds of shit now, right? Just
Yeah, I feel.
nothing off limits because we're at a different point in our lives, and all the stressors and all of the responsibility of how we got through life for long in the past. And yes, and now we do compare stories and we say, Jesus Christ, it was the same thing here, it was
Mm.
the same thing there. And now we know that, wow, these things are the same in every household, or 90% of the households, right? Very,
And
very few that didn't.
and do you like that now? Is there part of you that thinks, "Oh, I wish I had known to reach out about this in my 40s and my 50s and my 60s just to feel less alone in stuff you were going through?"
No, I don't think so. I don't
Hmm.
think so. If I went back in time, would I do it differently? I don't. I'm not a big sharer.
Yeah.
I'm not a big sharer. I don't. I don't like to talk things out and hash them and go over them, ad nauseum type thing. That's just not who I am. Um, I like to share good stuff, but I don't like to share shit, right?
Yeah.
Work it out on your own. Again, and that's a generational thing as well. You made your bed, you lie in it. This is your life. Straighten it out. Do it. Stay in it, get out of it, do what you want, but don't mope and don't complain, and not, no, don't complain, but you just do it, right? Yeah.
Danielle, I cut you off. You're going to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think too, like, I mean, this is just me looking in, but like, you didn't have access to each other back in the day either. Like, it was a landline, so like, people were, your family was all around. So now you just have so much more immediacy, whether you're sharing through memes or videos or text messaging. Like, there's much more private time that you could have
Yeah,
with your girlfriends or friends now to share those types of things.
exactly. Back then we were just
back then you had nothing, like, you
Yeah.
might have had
Yeah.
a landline. So, like, the busyness of having kids, and I don't have kids either, but the business of having kids and both working, it's like that hasn't changed through generations, but what has changed is access.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're a sharer, are you, Danielle?
I'm not a sharer.
No,
No,
not at
no,
all. Right.
no, no. Share good things, but no, I
Yeah.
just assume
Yeah.
maybe it's because I don't have a partner or children. Like, I just feel other people share so much. Actually,
Mhm.
some people, I mean, I think I'm a good listener and people share so much with me. There's never time for me to share, or I don't make time to share. You know what I mean? Like,
Or you
um,
just don't want to share.
I don't want to share sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I share
Yeah.
with people I want to. Like, I have a
Hmm.
couple of, I have a lot of groups of friends, but I have
Hmm.
some real core friends that know the ins and outs of what I'm going through, but they're
Yeah.
far and few between. Like, I have a lot of friend groups,
Hmm.
but I choose what I share with because for me, it's a safety thing too. It's like if I tell one person something, I don't want anybody else to know that. I don't want it to cause a train of conversations. Like, I love being over 50 because what really matter when you're in the 30s and 40s means nothing right now in my life. So, what mattered to me before, it's so menial. But in my 50s, I have less space for drama and um, gossiping and that type of stuff.
So
And those
the small handful of people that you do share with when you're going through a hard time.
Yeah, there's a few people who know the ins and outs of, things that we've been through, but not a lot. It's a small safe net.
They must be so excited when you open up.
Well, it's not about excitement because it's part of what I've always done, so it's not different to them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's not out of the norm for me to open up. So I don't know if they would think that. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if they are.
And they probably don't
Mm.
even know that you're opening up is just who you are with them.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's just who I
Mm.
am. So I don't know if I mean, I know who they are, but I don't know if those people know who they are.
Right, because it's just a safety that you feel around them.
Yeah, for sure. And, friendship means so much different as you get older. Then it's not about the quantity or,
Hmm.
uh, of the busyness of it. It's more about the quality that you have. And like if people want to be in your life, they will be in your life. Everyone is busy, everyone has different priorities, but if you want somebody to be part, you prioritize them. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
Does it make you both uncomfortable how much I share with people?
No, because that's
I
just you,
know
honey.
it's you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't
I mean, I'll get
impulse.
sat next to somebody at a restaurant and be like, "Oh, you want to hear about that?" Absolutely.
No,
I'm
that's
the
just
opposite.
conversational. Yeah. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. That doesn't make me feel uncomfortable at all.
Well, you
Mm.
just yeah, you Deanie, you react differently than we do. You have to put it out there.
You're that.
Yeah,
Well,
I just feel like it's so isolating to not share. And I don't think either of you are curating a life that I don't think you're not sharing because you're like, I want everyone to think my life is easy, seamless. That's, I know that's not why you don't share, but we
Oh,
see
no.
so many curated things. And
Mm,
I think it's so isolating. And I remember when I got divorced 100 years ago, I didn't share with anybody what I was going through until the moment I decided to leave. And then I told each of you, and then a small group of friends. And then I realized by the shock of everybody, I just learned a big thing. Like, I don't have to hold it all in until I hit a wall. I can actually let people in sooner so they can help me through a lot of the weeks and months that led up to that decision, which I was struggling a lot. And so I think that divorce cracked me wide open because I used to, not even that I think I was guarded. I guess grew up think like witnessing like this is what we share and this is what we don't share, and it was just like habitual. And then after that cracked me wide open, I realized I could just sense when I would tell somebody what was actually going on with me, how how much more at ease they felt because they were like, oh, I'm not alone in this, like life isn't perfect, or and so now it's created this snowball effect in all of the things in my life where I'm like, yeah, this is difficult. And I know you're having a hard time too. So like, let's just be honest about it and let's share it. And then when people open up to me, I feel closer to them. And I can't connect with somebody unless they're also a bit cracked wide open. I feel the surface conversation for me, I don't relate. Even when I sit at a dinner table and I notice, I can tell or I can feel it who's holding something back. And not that I don't respect that they are, and that's, that's how they're comfortable. And I want everyone to, be comfortable in their own life and feel safe in whatever way they need to. But we're never going to be close. Like I need you to crack wide open for me to be close with you. It's an honesty, it's a vulnerability. I need it for sure.
Is how can you support someone or be someone's friend if it's surface level? Like you can be surface level friends, obviously, but for those people closest to you, like you want to know, where they're coming from and the ins and outs, because you can't be a genuine friend, like if they're not being authentic with you, if they're keeping back like bits and pieces.
You nailed it. Because I was talking to you about someone that we both know, and I was having a difficult time in how to respond to something. And you said it's hard to support this person because you don't actually know. You think you know what's happening, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, and you nailed it. I was like, right, I'm having a hard time supporting this person because the truth that I'm being told doesn't, like, something's not adding up,
Yeah,
right?
because you're intuitive, you can sense that. So like when you're feeling there's hesitation, or if there's just something that's just not adding up, like it's kind of like trust your gut. Like I think we learned that from
Yeah,
dad. Like you gotta trust your
yeah,
gut. And like,
yeah.
I'm probably quicker to judge or trust my gut quicker than you guys. Like I jump
You have a good
to
read. You have a
I
good read.
yeah, I do have a good read, and it's taught me great lessons in life. It's almost like I look at the back, I try to get into the back end
Mm.
of a conversation or a person, and I can tell where it's going. And maybe it's a defensiveness, but I set up boundaries very early in all of my relationships. So if you get with me, you're in, and if you fuck with me, you're out. And once you're out, you're out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
more naive and I'm learning to be better at this. But my go-to is I'll believe everything you're presenting yourself to be until it's proven wrong. And it has been proven wrong a number of times. But it's almost like I'm like, okay, there, I'll give you a little bit more. I mean, maybe I'll make excuses. Oh, this is because this happened to this person, or. And then when I really see it, then I'm finally done. But it takes me a while, and it can be a bit hurtful. It's a bit
At the
painful.
I think we're at the opposite ends of that. Like I think
Yeah,
you give too much and I give too little. We got to both
yeah,
go into the middle somewhere. But
And I'm
totally.
perfect.
well, that's a whole other hour talking about mom. Maybe just me,
I know.
Nadine.
We'll do that. We'll do that next podcast, Mom. Well,
Other stuff.
actually, wear the necklace that Dad gave you that literally says, doesn't it say I'm
I'm
perfect?
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The other
Uh,
side of Lorraine. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
What are you guys
Um,
going to do with the rest of your day?
Uh,
it's a lot of
I
rain here today.
I think
Mm.
Danielle has to go to Costco, don't you, honey?
Oh yeah, but not today, Mother. Look at Samba.
Not
Is
today,
it
Saint.
really right? Because you guys are in St. John's. Is it really rainy? Bad?
Oh
Mm,
yeah, it's a lot of rain today, which is really good because of the recent fire. So we're all happy
Yeah.
about it. So all good.
Are the fires under control?
Yes. So
Okay.
Patty's Pond is out.
Oh, good.
Uh, the North Shore, which they call the Kingston Fire, that is it called held? Like it's still
yeah,
active, but
yeah,
mostly
yeah.
underground. So a lot of
Mhm.
smoke hotspots. And then the
And they
central,
both
I
been,
also is controlled.
I
There's
think so.
different terms, and
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
been moving targets. So, but right now everyone's in a good spot, and most of
Okay,
the
good.
evacuations are lifted. People are back in their homes or able to see their properties or the lack
Yeah.
thereof. God love them.
Good.
But some communities are still on alert, so just ready to go
Okay.
at a moment's notice. But
So
it's
the
much
rain is good.
better than last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Much
All
better.
right.
What are you going to do, sweetheart?
I'm gonna go up to the cottage, David's family's place, and hang out there for the long weekend.
So, oh, right.
Yay!
Then it's a long weekend, honey.
Go up with
Wow.
my cake, and I made my lovely sister-in-law a key lime pie.
Oh, how
Mm.
sweet now.
So I'm coming armed with baked goods.
Oh,
Delicious.
no wonder
All
they
right.
love you so much, sweetheart.
Lorraine Jr.
We'll bake for love. All right.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thanks for hopping on my podcast.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
Let's make it a monthly feature. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.